Let's work our way down the rabbit hole of car paint scratches and the removal and the repair of them. So, not all things are created equal. For example, not all scratches are created equal. Some scratches are in fact transfer. Some scratches are transfer with some damage underneath in the form of a scratch. Clear coat, it's not all created equal. The materials in which you have a scratch are not all created equal. So there's a lot of moving parts to this equation. Take your fingernail and drag it across the scratch. Okay, you're kind of going with, yeah, exactly. I want you to so what do you feel? Can you pick up any subtleties? Like, what are you feeling? What is your fingernail sensing that might be an indicator of something?
There could be some damage underneath.
Meguiars Scratch X. Okay, so put a little dollop onto a microfiber cloth, and yes folks, that is a clean microfiber cloth. It's stained up, soiled up because it has been used repeated times, washed, but you do want to use a microfiber cloth. So put a little dollop on the microfiber cloth. So take that and rub. I noticed that it looks like you're having to put a fair amount of effort into it. But I also noticed that that scratch, that transfer, whatever you want to call it, is diminishing as you're working. Is that a correct and fair statement?
It is.
Yeah, because you're mostly covering it up, which is fine because you're working on it. But as you sweep away from it, it does reveal that is diminishing. Yep, see, it's diminishing. Now, why don't you just stop there and now reassess? Do you think there's still more transfer, or do you think that it's actually taken the paint off of your bumper and it's revealed the black plastic underneath? What is your assessment?
Well, if it's black plastic underneath, it may be damaged.
Exactly. But you don't know till you know, right?
How would I know?
Well, that's kind of the trick as to car paint scratch removal, is they're not all created equal. And this is where a person literally just has to go in and figure it out along the way. So this is where I would take a pair of readers and I would scrutinize the area very closely. But I also know, for example, that you can continue to rub because some people would say like, oh, if you rub too much, you're going to take the clear coat off. Well, that would be very difficult to do that by hand. So I know that the damage that's there is going to be the damage that's there. And what I mean by that is that if you continue to rub, one of two things are going to happen, because underneath that, it literally is a black bumper, as in black plastic, because that bumper is not metal. At least that part of the bumper is not metal.
Yeah.
It is a rubberized type of malleable whatever. So if it really did damage and take off the paint, then there's nothing you're going to do, because that would require touch-up paint to touch it up. It's not a scratch that you can remove. But I see the more you work at it, the more and more it disappears. You know why? Because it's more about transfer rather than an actual scratch. It doesn't mean that there's not some damage done to that area, but if you were to stand back now at normal viewing distances, that essentially would look perfect. Is that a fair statement?
Yep. Yay.
Yay, see, look how much better that looks. There is the zoomed in version